Hey guys, hey, it's Camille Kitchener Ellis, and I love all things pre K. So today, I wanted to bring us outside to talk about some of the things that we can do with our students outside, or if you're at home with your child who is pre K age, because today, obviously, I'm not in the classroom. It's a holiday, so shout out to all those who may be celebrating. And so while you're at home with your child, kids love going outside. And there are so many different ways that as a parent or as a teacher that you can facilitate a child's learning and play while they're outside. So obviously, um, the, I'm in New York and the weather is beginning to change. So it's a little bit brisk out here. Um, but one of the things that you can do when you come outside with your child, you can have them begin to explore the different elements of fall. There's some great books about fall, about the discovery of what fall is all about, and what to look for the signs of fall. So today I'm out in my yard, and there are lots of different ways that we can facilitate that learning in our children. One of the things that I believe is not just teaching them the ABCs and the one, two, threes, but really asking them to be observant of what is going on around them. Ask them to use their five senses. So if we take a pause and just listen, listen to what's going on. So the first thing you could do, you can say, okay, let's listen. Let's just be quiet for like a couple of seconds and listen and tell me what you hear, right? We hear birds, we hear crickets, we hear so many different things. We hear cars passing. And so asking these questions and just pausing for a minute or two to just listen and to just be outside in nature really helps to increase your child's awareness of their environment. And so when you come outside, they can listen to all the different things that are going on out here. Once you're done with that part, you can say, okay, guys, now let's use our eyes, right? Our eyes help us to observe the different things in our environment that we can see or that we can explore, okay? So one of the things that I would do is I would ask them to, let's take a look over here because we have let me just turn my camera around real quick. So we have different things. So you could come over here to this patch of leaves and say, okay, guys, well, what do you notice? So they may say, well, I noticed that the leaves are changing colors. Okay, so what colors do you see? What colors do you see there? We can have a whole conversation about the colors that they see, how all of the leaves are changing, the colors of the leaves are changing, right? They'll also notice that, wow, the grass is not that green anymore. It's changing colors. The leaves are falling from the trees. And you could talk about how, yeah, in the fall, when when it's fall, one of the signs of fall is that leaves begin to change, right? They change color. And so this is a sample that you can actually take inside and for further exploration and or an art activity. You can also come on over here and maybe we can pick one of these as a color. You can ask them, wow, guys, what colors do you see on these leaves? What do you notice, right? So in pre-K, it's really important to help facilitate their learning by asking them questions that actually make them think about what they're seeing or what they are experiencing, right? And so you go around and you can have a conversation with them about the different leaves that they see. Oh, wow, look, here's some more leaves that we see, right? So we can collect these leaves, and then when we go back inside, we can have a conversation about some of the differences, some of the things that are the same about these leaves, some of the things that are different about these leaves, and then have a real conversation with them that will facilitate their learning. It will help them to understand, wow, during this time of the year in fall, the leaves change colors and there are many different types of leaves, right? So right now we have a few different types of leaves. We have a few different shapes of leaves. And these are things that just in your backyard, in your environment, if you go on a walk with your students, if you go on a walk with your child, you can have them pick up the different things that they see, right? There are also like acorns and things like that that they can pick up, right? So here's an acorn that I just found, and you could have them explore the acorn, right? Look at the acorn. What feel it? How does the top of the acorn feel? How does the bottom part of the acorn feel? And now you can begin to give them the vocabulary of, oh, it's smooth. Does it feel smooth? Does it feel bumpy? This is all natural learning just from the learning environment, right? So then you can also, there's also pine cones, right? I don't see any pine cones out here yet, I guess. But pine cones are also another thing that you can, that your child can explore when they are going on their scavenger hunt or their nature their nature walk. They'll pick up pine cones. It's usually acorns. There's usually rocks. So one of the things when it even comes to rocks, you can have them. So let me see if I can find some rocks over here, because I know I usually have a little area over here where we can find some rocks. So kids love to explore, and they'll really get a kick out of exploring the different things. They'll notice, just to get back to the acorns for a second, they'll notice that, oh wow, look, this looks different from the other acorn that we picked up. It's just the top, and the two parts of the acorns are together. And so you can ask them, well, what do you think we can do with this? Or why do you think the other part of the acorn is not there anymore? And they could also have a conversation with them about, the animals that eat acorns, and, how the acorns fall from the trees. So many different ways to facilitate learning just in nature, just in the things around you. You don't have to spend any money. You don't have to write up a lesson plan. Just come outside using your five senses, and you can facilitate so much learning and exploration through the natural world. There might be, I found another acorn here. This acorn, you'll notice, is half eaten or it's broken. So you can have a conversation with them. You can extend that. I don't think so. I'll check. But yeah, so you can talk to them about the animals that eat acorns and how they store up their nuts in the winter, and how fall is a great time for animals, is actually the time that animals begin to prepare for winter. And so they store up the nuts and they get things ready so that when it's too cold and the ground is too hard, they'll have food to eat. All right, so I'll get back to the rocks now. So rocks, I just found a really cool rock. It's half buried. I'm gonna flip my camera real quick. Okay, so here is a rock that a child may see and be curious about, right? So you could say, oh, so you can ask a question, right? That would get them thinking, what do you think we'll find under this rock, right? And you guys can do teamwork together, because it might be a little bit hard. You can have them do it. So in pre-K, it's all about having them do it, right? So you can have them do it to pick up the rock, flip it over and see. I don't see any animals under here. I don't see anything really, but you can have them observe closely to see what they think. And then, quite frankly, the rock itself becomes an object of exploration. You can ask them to feel the rock. How does it feel? Is it smooth? Is it bumpy? Is it rough? What colors do you see in it? Do you see any colors? What do you notice about the rock, right? And so, is it hard? Is it soft? So having these conversations with your students about, or with your child, about anything outside is just a matter of really asking them the questions that will help them to think and giving them the opportunity to think about it and 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 to discover what it actually is, right? And how it affects their lives. And so these were just a few ideas that will help you as you begin to facilitate your outside exploration with your students. Just really just taking them outside, giving them the freedom to, run about and to pick things up and to explore them with their hands and to look at them. And then you'll see how much learning will come out of it. So the three things that you really need to do, make sure that you're asking questions that allow your students to think, that allows your child to think, what do you notice about the trees? What do you notice about the things that are on the ground? What do you notice about what's happening out here? Have them pause when they first come out and say, well, what do you hear? Let's take a pause and listen to the what's going on around us, right? And then once you have your collection of things, we got some leaves here. We got an acorn. We got a rock. We got different color leaves. And so later on, we can begin to explore those things inside. And if you collect enough of them, you can even use them as art materials or to help with whatever, with painting, you can paint with the leaves, lots of different things. That's another video for another time, but I hope you guys found this helpful. And if you did, please like, subscribe, and share with a friend. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.